All right, this is our little guy that we're going to put eye meds in. He is a skinny little 6-week-old, and he has really bad eyes, and he's got a little gunky nose. So to start out with, I have a hot, wet either cloth or paper towel, and I'm going to wipe his little nose, and I'm going to turn it over so it doesn't get in his eyes, and I'm going to wipe his little eyes and try to get some crust off. And the more that you get it wet and the more you treat the eyes, the more the crust will come off, because his eyes are okay under there. He just has lots of crust over them. So now I'm going to get this. Remember, scruffing is your friend. Scruffing is important. You want to open the eyes wide and put it right, so you can see his little eyeballs. Put it right in there. Let's do this one. Put it right down in there. There we go. And then sometimes I'll take a little bit of a cloth and just kind of get the extra. But he doesn't mind it. I feel like he thinks that it feels good. And if they get crusted again by the next time you do it, that's just kind of how it is. You want to do it 2 to 3 times a day for a week, depending on the medicine, but most medicines are like that. I'm going to talk a little bit about triage for a little guy like this. So he has a snotty nose, so we're going to put him on antibiotics. We're going to deworm him and treat his little eyes. He, like I said, he's 6 weeks. He has great teeth. He can eat, but a lot of times when cats get colds, they don't want to eat. And so sometimes people mistake them not wanting to eat at this age for being too young. He's not. He'll eat some dry food a little bit, but I want to make sure that he can get enough in. And so I took some canned food and I made a little slurry with water. You can also use Pedialyte if they're dehydrated, but I just used water. And then I'm just force feeding him a little bit. And he does pretty well with it. If they don't do well with it, you can scruff him. But he's a really good boy. He's very sweet. He purrs as soon as I touch him. He came from a feral colony, and he's at the age where, and the desperation level, where he's just kind of instantly tame. So he's a sweetheart. And then after I force feed, I'd get some water in the syringe and give to him too, just to make sure that he is getting enough water. I like to give little tiny ones, especially sick ones, some water when they first come, just to make sure they have enough in there and that they know how to do it. So that's our little chocolate-headed boy. He's gonna feel better soon, and he's super sweet. Do you hear his purr? So one more thing, this is special antibiotic ointment from the vet, and with eyes this bad, that's a great thing. And if you have that available, if you have a program for that, if you have had a vet visit or you have extra through a rescue or shelter, that's great. But a little tip, if you find a cat or a kitten with an eye infection, and not everyone's going to agree with me on this, but if you have nothing else to use and you're kind of in a pinch and you want to try to hurry and clear up the eyes and save the eyes, what I've found works many times over is plain Neosporin. So not Neosporin with pain relief, but just plain old Neosporin. If you use that in the eyes, it has, it's not marketed for eyes, but it has basically the same active ingredients. And I have used that to great success many times. So I'll say if there is an ulcer in the eye, or if the eyeball has popped, which can happen with bad eye infections, if the kitten's going to lose its eyeball or is blind or has an ulcer, anything like that that's a little, he's playing, anything that gets a little more extreme, then you definitely don't want to put anything in its eyes until you see a vet. No Neosporin, nothing like that. Just clean it with what you need to, but don't really do anything to the eyes until you get that figured out, if it's like a sore. But as long as there's eyeballs under there and it's just the kind of conjunctivitis, it's just the eye infection, which is super common in kittens, especially kittens that have been outdoors and feral kittens, then you can definitely use that if that's all that you have. Terramycin is another one in the United States that a lot of feed stores will carry, that you can go to a feed and tack supply store, like a farm supply store, and it's called terramycin, and that's what vets prescribe, but you can get it over the counter there a lot of the time, at least where I live in the United States. So that is an option too. That's a more vet-sanctioned option.